Hello everybody, and thank you very much for your time today. And today I'm coming to you from Summerville, South Carolina. Yes. Alright guys, we are at the Southeast Punk Flea Market at the Carolina Fairgrounds here in Summerville. We're going to take a look around, meet some cool folks, see some great items, and have a great time. So let's go ahead and actually, maybe we'll get a drink before we get into it, but let's get into it right now. Alright guys, here we are inside the fairgrounds in one of the main buildings where they do a lot of kind of like expos, competitions. I think they do conventions here. I've been to a few shows here. Most recently they actually had a coin show that was pretty cool. Not that coins aren't really cool, they're actually very cool. No, joking around. But anyway, let's go ahead and check out some of the stuff here. I'm going to do my best to make sure that I don't get folks on camera. There were a lot of folks here at the flea market. I really didn't want to upset anybody. And I'm going to stop at a few points and do some voiceovers and cut out some audio. The vendors were really cool at this flea market. Everybody was very nice. A lot of folks saying hi, explaining where they're from, what they're into, what they're offering here at the flea market. And so this is kind of like a roaming flea market. They do it in a few locations. It's kind of similar to the Oddities show that I know is also very popular. So this flea market is a really good mix of like macabre, oddities, punk, metal, or touch a little bit of metal, hardcore. A lot of clothing, a lot of music, a lot of VHS, as you see here. I was checking out some of the VHS tapes. And as we go through here, you'll see jewelry, you'll see paintings, you will see some leather, you will see some studded leather, you will see all of these butterflies as we're seeing here. So whatever you're into in the realm of punk, really is broad spectrum, of course, but this is a great place to come. And so if you ever see this flea market, I know they've done it in Myrtle Beach, I think they've done it in Savannah, they go up to Greenville also. Definitely check it out. It's $10 to get in. Definitely well worth it. Definitely support these folks. It costs a lot of money to put these events on. And as we walk through here, again, at a few points, some of the folks are going to stop and, say hi to me, and, I'll be talking with them. So I'll go ahead and lower the audio a little bit, and I'll do some more voiceover and kind of explain, what these folks are doing here. And, hoping that they're making some sales, and I hope they did really good on this weekend. So as myself being kind of a ska punker at a certain point in my life, I mean, it never leaves you. I am a big Mighty Mighty Boss Tones kid, or guy, if you'd like to say. I grew up going to the Stone Pony in Asbury Park, and really was all about kind of the third wave ska and punk scene that was Less Than Jake. Let's see, of course the Boss Tones, Millencolin, Bad Religion, a little bit into No Doubt, before they really went pop. But that's really where my roots are in a lot of the music that I'm into. I'll go a little bit deeper into some harder stuff, some bands that, like even All, The Descendants, let's see, Bouncing Souls, Operation Ivy. Those were really the bands that influenced me, and some of the ink that I have. I never have shown you guys any of my tattoos. Maybe one day you'll get to see those. But let's go ahead and take a look around here. And not make it all about me, obviously. I don't want to talk over everything and make everything boring for you about my life. So here you see somebody that I think does a lot of 3D printing on this one, or molding. There were a lot of characters, a lot of like whimsical stuff also. Here you see somebody that's doing some gator work and mixing things up. There were a lot of vendors that were also selling vintage items, not reproductions, not 3D printed stuff. There was a really wide spectrum of stuff, really good mix of things that you could buy here. Now, there you go. There's the Raggedy Ann and Andy section, or at least Raggedy Ann. I'm going to go ahead and take a sip of my ice cold beverage while I am doing the voiceover here. And let's see some of the things that kind of pique my interest. Now, actually, right there was a good ashtray. Not that I am a smoker, but I love those amber ashtrays from back in the 70s. And here was one of the vendors. Like, this is kind of my jam. Somebody that's really got the vintage brass items, things that aren't reproductions, things that aren't from like Target. I'm really not into repros. There you see some old maps, some old license plates, a lot of clown activity. So there we go, some clowns. I know that clowns freak some folks out. And also, I'll talk over some points when the music might get a little louder here as we get closer to some vendors. The music was definitely getting loud. I don't want to get a copyright strike. I'd like to make 5 cents on this video if you'd allow me to. I'd appreciate it. Here we go, the Craft Witch.
Good morning, how are you?
Again, the vendors were all very cool at this flea market. Great vibe, very friendly. Some really nice knitwork here. I guess crochet or knitwork. My apologies if it's not knitwork. The Crafty Witch. Crochet, yes. Alright, original artwork. Oh, this was Tiffany. So that's really, her artwork I really dug. So she's actually based out of Augusta. We talked for a little while. Some really, really great art. I really like this neon piece here in neon green. And we talked for a few minutes. And actually she had some Billy Madison artwork. And another cool thing, she actually has sold a piece to Arnold Schwarzenegger. She painted a big piece or not actually for Arnold, but of Arnold. And Arnold wound up buying it off of her. And so, just cool facts about some of the artists here. Here we see one of the vendors that's a little bit more clothing based. There we go. I'm going to talk over some of the music that's going on. There we go with some more butterfly action, if I could spit that one out. Butterfly action. A lot of pendants, a lot of brooches here. Everything shiny and bright. Everything fun and colorful. Some great clothing. Now, I certainly don't wear this type of clothing, but I do respect it. I actually do like the art of the clothing. It can get a little pricey, though. If I was into it, and I know some people that are into it, you could drop a lot of money on these clothes. So music is getting loud here. One of the vendors had some stuff going on. And then I think past this little rack here, there was actually a guy that had a lot of Nintendo games, some Transformers stuff, some Turtles stuff. As I was looking through there. There we go. He had a good collection of DVDs, some VHS. And there we go, Mighty Mighty Boss Tones. And actually, I was into the Boss Tones before, let's face it. I go back to ska, core, and more. A friend of mine actually in high school that was a skateboarder got me into the Boss Tones, and I never looked back. Saw the Boss Tones probably over 15 times when they came through Jersey, PA, and New York for the Warped Tour and also smaller venues. There we go. Cabin Boy. Hey, you went to the Cabin Boy? That is a very funny movie from with Chris Elliott. If you've never seen it, definitely check it out. Here we see our Pikachu. We got our Godzilla. Again, trying my best not to put people on camera. I don't want people's faces everywhere, so that's why you'll see the camera down. Here we go with the Rob Halford special. Just checking that out. The vendor came over and she actually said, if you want to try it on. And I was like, oh.
Oh my God. I don't know if I can hit the right tones to wear that.
Nope.
No, but thank you. That's awesome. That looks great.
Yeah, great piece. And there we go with the docks. You got the Converse. A lot of good vintage and retro style leather and canvas here with this vendor. He was putting out a lot of good sneaks. Let's go ahead and spin around here. What else we got? What else we got? Yeah, that jacket was really cool. Not my style, but I definitely dig it. A lot of skulls. A lot of rings. If you're into rings, if you're into sterling silver, if you're into the goth stuff, definitely great, great show. I'm number 2. Yeah, those skulls were painted really nice. There we go. There's another Halford piece with the blue studded. Let's see what else we got here. I think this lady was into a lot of the crochet, a lot of the knit tops for the ladies. Some high fashion items, some fuzzy items, some warm items. Definitely not the best thing for the humidity here in South Carolina.
Summerville's horrible with the humidity.
Yep, we got into it with the humidity.
Oh, okay, yep. I was literally going to head there later for some Yogi Bear.
All right, just had to cut a little bit of audio out there. We got into a whole conversation about the Hartsville area and Yogi Bear fried chicken. For those of you that don't know about it, it's a really cool fried chicken place in Hartsville, obviously. And they are the last Yogi Bear fried chicken place. Look them up online. If you're ever in that area, you got to go check them out. Taking a look at some of the oils and fragrances. Got some more clothing. A lot of vintage clothing here. There was actually Toad's Place, New Haven, Connecticut. There was a good Macho Man t-shirt. Of course, Randy Savage. Oh, yeah. That was on that rack that I checked out a little bit later. I'm not a t-shirt guy, so can't pull it off. But let's see. Trash Clown Designs. One-of-a-kind art. Very cool. So the rag doll style, or the ugly doll style, I guess. Is that the genre for these? Now, very cool, very colorful. Lots of work gone into them. Let's go ahead and keep on walking past. We walk past this antique vendor here. Then we had some more DVDs, CDs, and VHS coming up. Some vintage hats. There we go. I was looking through, seeing if there was anything to my liking. So actually, when we first came in, when I was looking at the cassettes where there was that Budweiser hat, they had an Operation Ivy cassette for $300, and I think Nevermind from Nirvana for $200. I don't know if those are the going rates. That seemed really expensive, but maybe those are the prices that they should be charging. But other than that, like, everything was very reasonably priced here. Nothing was astronomical. Nothing was over the top. For the really rare items and custom items, I certainly understand they really should be, priced appropriately, because you're only going to sell like one rare Nirvana cassette, if you can even find it. So definitely, I can understand. Some more jewelry, some handmade jewelry. Just getting another sip of my ice cold beverage. Bark for me. Go ahead and do it. Bark. This vendor actually had a lot of embroidered shirts. A little bit emo. And there were a lot of people at that booth. They were really digging the goth font that was embroidered on those shirts. And a Taco Bell person, I won't say what it is. You can read for yourself. The Chronic Crystal. And obviously this is somebody that has all the crystals and stones. Very cool. Not something that I'm into, but definitely dig it. There we go. Here's the SC Horror Convention in Columbia. So if you guys are interested in that, that is also coming up. I guess this vendor will also be there. Very cool. Crystal confetti. Let's see. This gentleman was actually, he had some really cool prints. He was introducing himself to everybody. Nice guy. I'm actually going to go ahead and pause and skip over this. We got into a little bit of a conversation.
Where are you based at?
All right, just wanted to skip forward in there. I wound up speaking with that gentleman for about 5 minutes. I didn't want to take over the video with that, but a very cool artist. Really nice book that he put together. You can pause it and check it out if you'd like. This guy had some really cool stainless steel stuff. I actually picked up a necklace and a bracelet, and he actually gave them to me for half the price. And I was like, without even asking, I was like, cool, thanks, dude. So, got a, a 22-inch stainless necklace. I needed a new one. The one that I have, I've had for, probably about 20 years. It's got a lot of the skulls and other types of lovely jewelry. A lot of rings. And this guy is based out of Greenville. caught stealing. Better not be stealing at the flea market. You're going to be in trouble. Alright, as we walk through here, I actually spotted somebody that had a really cool gold-plated sterling set. This is somebody else that has a little bit more of the antique-ish style, vintage style. I'm going to go ahead and pause here also and skip over this. It was that set right there. Really cool set. Full set, gold-plated. I'm going to actually talk with her in a moment. I was curious as to how much she was asking for that. And there's her information. Alright, let's skip forward. I'm going to go look at some nails. And we're getting close to the end of the video, guys. So really want to thank you for joining me at the Southeast Punk Flea Market. There were some things that I actually couldn't show you. There were some artists that had some really, let's say, interesting art. Stuff that unfortunately probably would have gotten struck on the video. But if you're an adult, definitely beautiful, beautiful art. There's somebody specifically that does some really great chalk body art. And it was really nice looking stuff. But again, for the adults, not for the kids. So I will catch you in the next video. Bye-bye.
Give it one more chance. Where